welcome back to Cleveriness. My name is Michelle and today I'd like to share with you another review. Today I'd like to talk about The Weight of Water by Sarah Crossan. The Weight of Water is a book that I've had on my Kindle for absolutely ages. I think it was in a Kindle sale a few years ago and I bought it on a whim at 99p and it sort of languished on my Kindle for quite a long time. I think at the time of its publication I did hear quite a bit about the book, and another reason that it appealed to me when I saw it in the Kindle sale is that I think that it has a very beautiful cover. It's really quite pretty, but I didn't really know very much about the book, and it was only recently on Twitter, I think, that I'd seen somebody else mention that The Weight of Water is a verse novel. And I don't know about you, but hearing that a book is written in verse actually makes me more excited to read the book than not. So once I did hear about that, The Weight of Water did quickly speed up to the top of my, mental TBR pile. And I'm so glad that A, I decided to buy it on a whim, and B, that I read it, because it was such a beautifully written book. And I'm just really in awe of people who are able to write such a coherent and emotional story written in a poetry format with using fewer words, and with those fewer amount of words provide such an emotional impact like The Weight of Water did for me. It didn't take me very long to read the book. It was only maybe about an hour of my time, but it will still stay with me for a lot longer than that. Now, The Weight of Water tells the story of a Polish immigrant and her mother. Kasienka is, I believe, 12, almost 13 when she comes to England, and her mother are on this search in order to find their father who has left them. And Kasienka's mother is really obsessed with finding him and with bringing him back, and it was really difficult at times to read of Kasienka going along with her mother on this wild goose chase in order to find their father. They've narrowed it down to one particular town in England based on a postmarked letter that he'd sent them. And because Kasienka has better English skills than her mother, they go knocking door to door in this town, asking if people have seen this man. And it was really difficult to read at times, because not only do we have this sort of grief and unease that Kasienka has doing these things for her mother, but also it's really apparent the amounts of prejudice and the different attitudes that people, especially the students at Kasienka's new school, have against them being Polish immigrants. Kasienka makes some really truthful but also painful remarks about, some people, about what it's like to be an immigrant into this country. Because of her language skills, Kasienka is put into a year below her age group, and she's really not happy with it. She would benefit from her own classmates her age and the curriculum that better suits her age, and instead she's put in with younger children because of her English skills. Because she's immigrant, she's thought of in different ways, and it was honestly, she writes just her thoughts and feelings and emotions are written in such an emotional and powerful way that it was really difficult to read some of these poems. And just hearing about where they're living and how they're getting along and the attitudes of other people around them was very heartbreaking. And the thing with Kasienka is that she's a very talented swimmer, and she joins the swim team in order to find a place that she feels comfortable in the water, which is where the title of the book comes from. She likes the feeling of the weight of water. Instead of all the pressures around her, of her mother trying to find her father, of, you know, the bullying that she faces from other students, prejudice of other people around. And I was really glad when Kostyanka finds some friendly faces, both in her next door neighbor and also a popular boy at school. And while I found that some of the romance elements didn't feel as true as some of the other aspects of the book, I still really loved this book a lot. I thought it was really wonderfully done, and I would definitely recommend that you pick up this book to read, even if verse novels aren't necessarily your thing. Sarah Crossan is also the author of 2 YA dystopian books, Breathe, and I think the sequel is Resist, and I think I will definitely be giving those 2 a try after the strength and power and beauty of The Weight of Water. So thank you very much for watching this brief review. I'll see you next time.